At this point, you can imagine the bar's full. Everyone's about. You get nudged all the time. It doesn't really matter. I didn't think much of it. I turned a little bit. Next minute, pint glass straight through my face. When it happened, I'm just like, I'm laid on the floor. One of the boys is like, look, you've got glass in your face, in your eyes. Don't touch your face. I'm like, please, no, don't be blind. Please, please do not be blind.
So guys, according to the statistics in the UK, there's an estimated 0.9 million violent offences in the year ending September 2023. A million violent offences in the nightlife scene. We're going to watch this video of this really tragic story of a guy called Matthew Syron. Seems like a really charming guy, and I'm making this video to help get this guy's story out and to help us to learn the lesson from what has happened to him, to not allow this to happen to anyone else. And as someone who used to go to the nightclub every weekend and every Thursday night, and I haven't been to a nightclub in now 7 to 8 years, I want to pass on what I learned, which has made me want to do that, because I love you guys. Let's watch this guy's story.
Right, mate. So I'm overseas in England. I'm on holidays. I came over for 2 weeks. It's Boxing Day. Boxing Day, I went to go watch the rugby with childhood friends, just as I normally would if I was here. Went out into town. Went into a nightclub. Left the nightclub. It were about 11 o'clock. I was like, right, it's time to go home. Instead of going right, I went left. I walked down the street and I seen a new bar that I'd never been in. So I was like, you know what? I'll see who's about, see who's in there. It's Christmas. I don't want to go sit in my hotel room alone. I'll go spend a couple of hours out. I walk into a bar. The bar's full. I end up walking in. I actually see friends that I used to play against 12 years ago. As you can imagine, it's Christmas, everyone's having a good time. And beers are flowing, banter's flowing, everything's going great. I'm having a good time. And then I break away from the group. I go to the toilet. Didn't know where I was going, so I'm like to the bouncers, look, can you show me where the toilet is? I go down to the toilet. On my way back, I go to the bar, stood at the bar with one of the boys. I get this little nudge. Obviously, at this point, you can imagine the bar's full. Everyone's about. You get nudged all the time. It doesn't really matter. I didn't think much of it. I turned a little bit. Next minute, pint glass straight through my face. Everything went fully black. Man. I actually thought someone put something over my head. I didn't really know. There was no real pain or anything like that. It just bang, hit me, fell down. The attacker fell down with me and pushed the glass into my face. And then he ran off and left me. And yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. It was in seconds, you know what I mean? No one could do anything. It was just that quick.
What were your thoughts straight away when this happened?
Honestly, when it happened, I'm just like, I'm laid on the floor. One of the boys is like, look, you've got glass in your face, in your eyes. Don't touch your face. I'm like, please, no, don't be blind. Please, please do not be blind. And yeah, as obviously time goes on, and minutes are going by, blood's pouring out of my face, pain starts kicking in, fear. Honestly, it was a tough one to swallow. And yeah, I started to realise I'm blind. I get taken outside. Luckily, there were an ambulance around the corner. The ambulance pulls up. I get put in the ambulance and I'm like, right, what's going on? I'm asking how bad it is to people, and people are like, oh, Doc, you'll be going to be all right, going to be all right. I'm like, please, someone just tell me how bad it's going to be. At this point, someone's already rang my brother. So my brother's on his way. My brother's jumped out of the car. And my brother gets to the ambulance door, and I'm like, please don't tell me how bad it is. And he's just like, it's bad. And then I was just like, oh my God. I'm never going to see my kids again, never going to see my partner. And yeah, then anger starts. I was just getting angry and I couldn't calm down. And yeah, I got rushed to A&E. And yeah, my mum turned up and that's when it just hit home. I heard my mum's voice. And then I'm like, she's trying to calm me down, I'm just settling down. And she's like, the nurses couldn't pull glass and stuff out of my face because I was kicking off. They're like, mum's like, please stop, calm down. And my mum started cleaning me and pulling glass out of my face. And I'm just like, please, mum, how bad is it? And she's like, it's going to be all right, son. But she was pulling glass out of my face, getting upset. And yeah, I just kept repeating myself. And obviously I'm panicking like mad. And next thing I know, I wake up next day and I'm in a hospital bed and everyone's around me.
It's what everyone dreads. You know, everyone who goes out to a nightclub and to a nightlife, there's always at the back of your mind, like, something can go wrong. You know the type of people that are there. You know what state they're in. Turns out the guy who had attacked him was on cocaine, and he was had like 15 pints, and he'd been going around trying to arm wrestle people. So the question is why do we go there? What on earth are we doing in a place like that? You do not need to go to that place. You do not need to be there to live a happy and enjoyable life. I can tell you, matter of fact, you're going to be just as happy, if not more happy, if you don't go to those places. You'll have just as much fun doing the myriad of other things there are to do. What are the things that you could be doing instead? You could be staying at home with your family, watching a movie, drinking whatever drink you enjoy. Maybe it could be an alcoholic drink. You just have a couple of them at home. A nice cup of tea, have a nice warm bath, nice warm shower, cozy up in your own bed. You can go to the theatre, you can go to the cinema, you can go out for a nice meal, you can go on a trip to the zoo, you can go on a trip to the seaside, you can go on holiday somewhere. There is so much stuff that you can do in this life. Spend time with your children, spend time with your parents, spend time with your siblings, go see some friends, play the PlayStation. It is endless, the amount of things that you can get satisfaction from. Is it really worth it? The statistics, the danger, the risks involved. You can find a partner outside of the nightclub. I can tell you that. I can assure you. I met my wife well outside of a nightclub. 2 Timothy chapter 3, and I'm going to read from verse 1. It says, "But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people." When you go to a place like that, guys, I'm sorry, but that's the type of people you're going to find. What has happened to this guy is awful. I feel so sorry for this guy. I am certain he didn't deserve it. And I hope that this can be a lesson for so many other young men and women that are walking down this same road, destroying their lives for the sake of trying to fit in, for the sake of trying to find a sense of purpose, for the sake of trying to discover who they are, and being led down a road that tells them that is where it is. But ultimately, it just pads the lines of someone's pocket. Be that these producers of alcohol, be these producers of drugs, be the producers of these nightclubs, or it's just the music producers. They're just padding their lines at the cost of putting your life at risk, at putting your health at risk, your mental health at risk, and your own self-value and worth at risk. You go to places like this where you're going to find drug addicts, you're going to find drunkards, you're going to find people who are like abusing other people, sticking needles in them. Yet you think people who go to church are weird? Like, think about that for a second. You go to somewhere like that as a form of fun and happiness, thinking that's going to get your life to a good place in a good path. And when people go to church, you judge them. Madness. Anyway, I'm not going to read any more of that. But this is that life. And I want to help you out. Don't go down that road. And you guys, you're wise people. You're not going to live as unwise. I know that. I know you want to live wise. So I just want to challenge you. Check out this video that I have made all about reading the Bible on a daily basis and how to do it, and see if that can have any difference in your life. Maybe it can help you to see life in a whole different way. In a way that is going to be fruitful and beneficial for your life and lead you in a direction that will lead to your life, lead to more life in your life, as opposed to leaving you down a road which can lead to destruction. I love you guys. I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to leave it there. Take it easy.